Hey everybody, Steven Bogran here from Pro Physique, and today I'm going to talk about how you get from this to that.
My name is Steven and this is our video about health and fitness things, and I work for Pro Physique and I am just a guy with a fitness thing for you.
Alright everyone, I hope you've been having a great day so far. Wow, yeah, I've been a little quiet and hopefully you can see why. We've been definitely pushing the diet, getting on stage, and that's exactly what we want to talk about, is how do we get from where we're at now, possibly, to maybe where we want to go. And maybe that's on stage, maybe it's never touching a bodybuilding competition, maybe it's just getting really lean to do some photo shoots, to get some content. Maybe it's just losing some weight to, go out for our wedding or to fit a dress. It doesn't matter exactly what that goal is, we're going to use the same approach regardless. And that's the really nice, fun part about what we do and how we do it. So obviously, you see that first picture and like, wow, okay, yep. And that was about 25 pounds ago. That was probably about 191 pounds or so. About 190 pounds for me. And I am 5'10". And then that second picture you see on the right, well, whoo, that was 166, 167 pounds body weight. Now, you're like, wow, that is light for 5'10", and yes, it is. And when you're truly stage lean, that's when you have that hard, that grainy, that vascular look. For the fellas, you're going to be very low on that scale, most likely lower than what you like to see. How do we get there though? That's the real question. And so ladies, maybe you don't want to go to that hard, grainy, vascular region. That's absolutely fine. We can still diet down. It's gonna be the same for you. And that's the good news, because guess what? This was the easiest diet I've ever done. It is the most food I've ever eaten on a diet, and it is the least amount of cardio on top of being the leanest I've ever been. So let's talk about how we accomplished that. Well, the first way that I accomplished that is I gave myself a lot of time. In fact, I gave myself so much time that I had no date set for when I was going to be ready, for when I needed to be on stage, or for when my diet needed to end. So I started at the beginning of the year with our Pro Physique Transformation Challenge, which our fall challenge is actually going on now, if you're watching this video during that time. I used that as a motivational tool to help myself kind of get things moving, to make sure that I was on track. I knew exactly what I was eating. I was paying attention to my food. I had a nice base set up. And of course that I was being consistent with my cardiovascular activity. And so that's where things started. And I'll be honest, I didn't have to make a lot of changes because I had taken so much time away from dieting. My body responded, and it responded well over time. So I cut my calories down a bit. I believe I cut out about 50 carbs and 20 fats from my diet, nothing too crazy. Added a bit of cardio. I started doing 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week from doing none. And that was, of course, in addition to my jiu-jitsu, but that's where I started. And I said, you know what? Okay, I'm gonna get going. And as I started carrying a little bit less, I found something that I thought would be fun to do. And for me, that was doing the jiu-jitsu tournament at the Arnold in March. So it helped to keep my motivation going, finding something new to do. And the reason that that kept my motivation going for dieting is because I had to make a weight class for that, and I was determined to do it without cutting water. So I did, and that was great. I made under 180 by that point, and I had lost some weight, and I had achieved my goal, and I felt really good about it. So now I decided to continue doing what I was doing. Let's keep going. Let's do another jiu-jitsu tournament. I did one in May. Said, you know, I think I can be a little bit leaner here. I think I can be a little bit less. Let's make sure I'm under that 180 again. Made it under 180, weighed in at about 177, 178. Again, it just kept me motivated to go. After that one, I was a little burnt out. So I said, okay, I'm gonna take a step back. I'm gonna bring my calories up a little bit. I'm gonna bring my cardio down a little bit. I'm gonna take a diet break for a few weeks here. Maintained my weight, got back into it. The diet break really helped because of the fact that it wasn't me just pushing through a diet for 8 months. Because that's how long I took to lose 25-ish pounds. It was a long time. And so when I say give yourself enough time, you may need more time than you think. Now, some of you are experienced dieters and you know exactly how much time you're gonna need. And that's okay. But for those of you who haven't done that, understand I took 8 months to lose 25 pounds. It's okay to go slow. It keeps all the stress off of you, which can make things a bit more difficult, and it allows you to really pursue that with a little bit more zeal and enthusiasm. We can create new goals throughout that process that still go with everything and that still encourage us to do what we want to do for that diet. So keep that in mind. Now, the second thing that I did after giving myself more than enough time was I got help. I ran my own diet for quite a while, but when we got to June, I really wasn't being as objective with myself, not with how I looked, not with how I felt, and not with any changes that needed to be made. So that's when I went out and I got a coach. I got somebody else to put their eyes on me and tell me what they thought and kind of take the reins. So thank you very much, Paul, for that, of course. But it helped remove my own emotions, my own, I want to be lazy, I want to sleep in, I don't want to have to reduce my calories any more than where I'm at, out of the equation. And it allowed him to make those cuts instead. So essentially, only one change had to be made. We dropped my calories from the 300 carbs a day and 60 fats I was at, down to 220 carbs and 60 fats a day. We had 2 higher carb days with a little bit less fats and a little bit more carbs. And that was it. We kept the cardio the same at that point, which is an hour a day. I split that up to make it fit my schedule, and my body just continued to respond and to drop over time. That was a beautiful thing. Now, of course, it doesn't work that way for everybody. Not everybody can be as patient, not everybody has the timeline, and not everybody has taken a ton of time off from dieting. If that's not the case, I still recommend utilize your diet breaks, find things to motivate you, keep your stress low, and just do your thing. The more consistent you can be, the better. I also did this while managing travel to Europe, while managing travel throughout the States for shows. Was it easy? No. But was it super difficult? No. I got my cardio in, I made plenty of time for movement, I ate my rice cakes, I ate my beef jerky, I ate my tuna packs. And so I prepared. So let's talk about that third one, because it obviously matters whether you're at home or you're traveling. You have to prepare. You have to know what your goal is and how you're going to get there. Making sure that you have the right tools available to you to get the job done is extremely important. That might mean beef jerky, rice cakes, tuna packs, canned almonds, whatever it might be. Sure, that's easy. It's easy to get through the airports, the security, it's friendly, and it works. Now, is it the most filling and the best thing ever? Well, it doesn't make me go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs for sure. However, it works. So making sure that you plan ahead, also going to be extremely important. Give yourself the tools that you need to accomplish your task. That might be a longer timeline on your diet. That might mean more time away from dieting and making sure that your metabolism is in a good place, that your life is in a good place, that your stress is in a good place, that your relationships are all in a good place. It might mean that as well. But when you're talking about how to make these kinds of crazy transformations, understanding that one, you're probably going to see the scale number being much lower than you thought it would be. 2, you're probably going to need a little bit more time than you thought you needed. 3, you're going to have to plan ahead. Wow, yeah, there's a lot that goes into it. So just make sure that you're setting yourself up for success when it comes to your diet. You all have the opportunity to make these wonderful, crazy transformations. Oftentimes, it just means giving yourself a little bit more time. Don't get caught up in the fad diets. Don't get caught up in all the marketing. Remember, the best way we can do this is by changing our lifestyle. When I am the kind of person who believes and sees myself as the kind of person who does the things that makes taking time off from dieting a priority, who makes healthy diet a priority, who makes exercise a priority, Now, this transformation is more just an extension of the person I am because I do those things because of who I identify as. So I'll leave it there because we're getting long. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day.